Will the market go up or down? Should you lock in or float? Find out this and more with Master of the Markets, hosted by Barry Habib of MBS Highway. Brought to you by Planet Home Lending. Secured by private equity, Planet Home Lending might just be the largest wholesale lender you've never heard of. Our competitive pricing opens the door, but we know it's our knowledgeable and accessible account executives who will make Planet Home Lending your first and last look on every loan.
Welcome to another edition of Master of the Markets. I'm Barry Habib at MBS Highway, and this is created exclusively for Mortgage News Network, brought to you by our friends at Planet Lending. Their rates on the wholesale side, well, they're out of this world. Hey, it was an interesting week last week, really highlighted by the Fed's announcement. Yes, they hiked rates a quarter just like we thought, but as I mentioned to you in the past, they were going to give us guidance on how they're going to unwind that balance sheet, and that's exactly what we got. So we did get an understanding of what the Fed's going to do, and I think it was pretty good as far as the markets are concerned, and that's why you saw the bond market relatively calm and stable after the announcement and the next couple of days following the announcement. So here's what the Fed said they're going to do. It's important for us to understand. First thing, they're going to start this quantitative tightening or this slowdown of the reinvestment in both treasuries and mortgage-backed securities sometime this year. When? Probably either September or December, because that's dates that we have a Fed meeting with a press conference, and they like to do those moves at that particular time. So now, what are they going to do? They're going to slow down the reinvestment of mortgage-backed securities by $4 billion per month. Now remember, they're buying close to $30 billion a month, and treasuries by $6 billion per month. What's going to happen is, now that's once they start, every 3 months after they have begun the program, they're going to increase that on mortgage bonds by $4 billion, and they're going to continue to do that every 3 months until they hit $20 billion, and that'll be their ceiling. So it'll roll off $20 billion a month. On treasuries, similar story, start off at $6 billion, and they'll increase that every 3 months by another $6 billion until they get to $30 billion. So once they begin, assuming let's say they begin in September, and they're going to be data dependent for that, in a year from then, they'll be up to about $50 billion a month that will start to roll over. So $600 billion a year. It's still going to take several years to eat into that $4.5 trillion that they're holding. Now, they said they're going to still hold some on the balance sheet, nowhere near what the max was, but it'll be more than what they held before QE. How much did they hold before QE? Only about 200 billion. It's so funny to say only. About 200 billion. In a relative sense, it's only. So there's a long way down. I don't know, maybe they hold $1 trillion or a little bit less on their balance sheet, but it'll still take 6 years or so. Now, what's the impact on mortgage rates? Well, once they begin this, it will be gentle, but over time, it'll more than likely push rates or pressure them a little bit higher. Prices a little bit worse, yields a little bit higher. By a lot? Probably not a lot, because remember, this is going to be instituted pretty gently to start with $4 billion over the first 4 months, then another 4 billion. So sometime in 2018, you might see some pressure from this, maybe the end of this year when it's initially announced, but it shouldn't be a huge impact because of the gentle nature of the way they're doing it. In addition to that, there are other factors that will determine what happens with rates. Remember, there's a lot of other things going on too. Job reports come out, other factors, global factors come into play, inflation. So all things created equal, this is going to pressure rates a little bit higher, but not so much. So we kind of got what we wanted here. This is a good way for us to see this tapering occur. And as a result, you see mortgage bonds and yields behave quite nicely. Still watch 2.18 on the 10-year Treasury. That's going to be an important ceiling. And if we're able to remain in this range where we're underneath it, 218 could be the ceiling, and around 2% could be the floor. Boy, that could spur some additional refinance activity, as you know. All right, team, listen, we break this down for you every day on MBS Highway. If you're not using it, you're just missing out on a lot of great stuff. You could take us up on a free trial. Or why not sign up? I mean, think about the money that you make on transactions and the responsibility that we have to serve customers as the expert. You don't want to be replaced by technology. You don't want to be beat out by your competition. You be the one that beats out your competition by impressing your customers, adding them more value and insights and knowledge, just being smarter than your competitors. All right, hope you guys have a great day. See you next week. Bye-bye.
Feel the difference of what a decentralized operation makes. With account executives in your backyard and in your office, not hidden in a call center, we know what you and your borrower desires based on your market, and will be in your office helping you through every step of the way. Those are just a few of the differences our clients see every day with Planet Home Lending Wholesale.
This is Mortgage News Network.